How's it going, everybody? Thank you for checking my channel and welcome to today's video. Before we actually discuss the topic of the video, I want to do a quick disclaimer that there are going to be timestamps down in the description below if you guys want to skip to the part that interests you most. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, for anybody that doesn't know, a timestamp is a time on the video that talks about a specific topic. So if you are interested in a specific topic and nothing else, please use it at your discretion so that way you can go just to the part that interests you most. However, for anybody that can watch the video the entire way through, I greatly appreciate it and I'll make sure not to waste your time. This video is going to go over something that confuses me. And that is how I've seen online, whether it be from articles or videos. And when it comes to the videos, it's in the thumbnails and it's also in the titles. But people discussing how you can get high runes quick, or characters that are the best at farming high runes, or builds that are guaranteed to get you high runes quick, or just guides trying to tell people how they are sure to get high runes very quick. And to me, the idea of putting get high runes fast is a complete contradiction in itself. And there are two things I'm going to discuss from just that before I actually get into this video. One, nobody gets high runes quick. You want proof? Look at all the videos online that have people doing 1,000 run projects and how many high runes they get. Most likely they're going to get one, maybe two if they're lucky. But even if they get one, it's not typically going to be an amazing high rune. It might be a Vex, maybe a Sir when they're looking for a Burr. And even for people that are doing LK runs or Travancore runs where you are more typically going to find high runes more often than other areas of the game, especially level 85 areas, you're not going to see in 50, 100, 500, even 1,000 runs, people be getting a lot of high runes to where they're just at an abundance and you don't know what to do with all of them. It's going to be a thing that you have to do for thousands and thousands and thousands of runs to be able to start actually seeing a significance in any amount of high runes to drop. That is actually how people, and this is not talking about trading, but how when people farm, that is how people are going to be getting some of the uniques and to be able to get the runes to make the endgame rune words that they will use either to grind for the Holy Grail, to be able to do PvP, or to experience gain to level 99. That is something that people will do over and over and over again. I can't even stress that enough, over and over again. Many of us, including you guys that are not new to the game, have probably done many times. But for casual players, the articles and videos seem to be gearing towards them. And it's something that I see as far as to be able to get quick clicks and views, to be able to grow on whatever platform of media that they are on. And it's not as honest as it could be for a lot of new players. And I don't want to discourage new players from wanting to actually play the game by telling you all this. However, I want to give you a realistic sense of what to expect if you are trying to get something like Enigma or Affinity or Grief or any other endgame rune words that you see other people using in their games and thinking that you could get them super easily without a lot of trading or just a lot of time dedicated to farming. This is going to be for you guys on how to be able to better your odds for high runes to drop, and there are 3 ideas I'm going to go over that, if used together, will help you with your drop odds being a little bit more in your favor, so that way you can hopefully get the high runes that you desire. With all that said, let's get into the video.
Not even death can save you from me.
Greetings, mortals. I knew you would find your way back here.
As I said in the intro, there are 3 important ideas to consider for wanting to farm high runes, and they are 1. Clear speed when it comes to player's difficulty setting, or partying up when it comes to online play. 2. Damage and the potential for AoE, which means area of effect, especially if you are a caster character. And 3. Farming locations suited for your character and what type of monsters to farm. These are similar principles to magic finding. However, rune drops aren't dependent on magic find whatsoever because they are not counted as magic items. Starting with the first one, clear speed with player settings in single player or partying up online. If you're wanting to farm high runes, your best odds are to try to farm on the highest player setting you can manage with your build on single player, or partying up with people who can clear the area with you online. And that's because higher player settings, or more people playing in game, helps to lessen the no drop rate chance for regular white named monsters. Having a faster clear speed, even on lower player settings, means utilizing your run times to be as quick as possible to take advantage of killing more in the time that you are able to play. The best examples of this are lower Karust farming of the super chests and farming the counters for either keys or runes. with lower cost or LK farming. The point is to make your runtimes as short as possible, because as I mentioned in the intro, the odds of someone farming lots of high runes fast or quick is absurd to think is possible. This is why you see many people farming LK for thousands of runs to start finding decent runes and maybe one high rune. For the Countess, you see people either farming her on players 1 difficulty for runes, or players 8 for keys for running Ubers. I have a previous video going over her special rune drop table and how it works, but to summarize it here, players 1 setting means less comes from her first table to drop from, and that is her monster drop table for items. So the less that comes from that table, the more potentially comes from her rune drop table, and players 8 means more potentially comes from her monster drop table, leaving very little to nothing coming from her special rune drop table. When farming high runes, you want to play on the highest player setting and kill everything in sight in hell difficulty that you come across when not going the super chest strategy. The more you're able to kill with lessened no drop rate chances, the more possibilities for high runes to randomly drop. Now for the second point that works with your clear speed, damage and the potential for high AoE or area of effect. As mentioned in the previous point, rune drops aren't dependent on magic finding whatsoever, so the potential for them to drop is the same regardless of 0% magic find or 1000% magic find. With this in mind, keeping what I mentioned about farming the Countess on either players 1 or players 8 depending on what you're looking for, it's important to utilize both your gear and inventory to help you maximize your damage as well as any chance of increasing AoE, especially for caster characters. This means that the best things to help you for melee characters are charms with a boost of attack rating, min and max damage, faster hit recovery, your resistances, and last but not least, your life. Keeping any magic find charms won't benefit your build, despite that many people enjoy magic finding along with wanting to find high runes. However, if you are struggling with your damage output and are having to spend more time clearing an area, taking out anything unnecessary will be best to start changing that. If you are in need for ideal bases for rune words, this is a great chance to get a 2-for-1, as if you use 0% magic find, you can have greater possibilities of your ideal base to drop. And along with that, increasing your player's difficulty as high as you can manage with good clear speed because of your damage output puts you another step closer to finding the high runes you desire. And the third point to come full circle on wanting to find high runes is going to be your build choice along with the areas you are wishing to farm. This ties into what I said in the intro. No one character is better at farming high runes than any other character. It all comes down to your playstyle, personal preference, and most importantly, where you are farming your high runes. This means that, for example, the sorceress is not going to be any better at finding high runes comparatively speaking to the paladin or the barbarian or any of the other characters in the game. It simply just comes down to your personal preference and your playstyle. Starting with the builds. As long as the build meets the previous requirements of being able to have good clear speed to minimize runtimes because they deal a lot of damage, then whatever build you choose is up to you. For certain areas. This is because, for example, if you are a godly fire sorceress, deal insane damage to where everything is one-shotted, but you farm areas with fire immunes, regardless of doing 1 damage or 1 million, you aren't going to be able to farm the area with that character. Knowing your build's strengths is important for picking the right area to farm, because if anything is immune to what type of damage you deal, you won't be able to kill them without assistance such as a lower res wand, infinity, or conviction for paladins, to name a few examples. So knowing what type of areas to farm is important, because if you are, for example, a blizzard sorceress and you choose the ancient tunnels that doesn't spawn cold immunes, you can farm the area efficiently and depending on your gear, increase your player's difficulty on single player, or farm with others online to make your no drop rate chance higher for regular white name monsters increase, thus giving more potential for high runes to drop. Speaking of the ancient tunnels, I use that example because it is a level 85 area in the game, one of many you can find throughout hell difficulty. Farming level 85 areas is ideal because they have the potential to drop anything in the game, and that includes the sought after high runes. A few of these areas include the pits in the mausoleum from Act 1, ancient tunnels in Act 2, the entire River of Flame and the Chaos Sanctuary in Act 4, and the Worldstone Keep through Baal in Act 5, to name a few. And with patch 2.4 adding even more level 85 areas, the possibilities to find high runes will increase greatly. Lastly, not only is the area to farm important, but also the type of monsters to farm is important as well, as some have better potential for high runes to drop because of their drop tables. This means that if a monster has a lessened abilities to drop certain items, such as not dropping certain treasure classes, when RNG rolls as you kill them, the potential for a rune to take an item spot to drop would increase. This is displayed with Andariel being target farmed in Nightmare for Stones of Jordan because she can only roll a few unique rings compared to Hell difficulty, the Council and Travical for high runes, and Ghost Packs being killed on the way to farm the Summoner for keys, as regular White Name Ghost variants can't drop weapon bases, so the odds of a rune dropping instead increases, to name a few examples. Realistically with high runes, their possibilities of dropping are low. However, there are ways to be able to put the odds more in your favor to eventually find them, and making the journey of getting what you want more worth it once you finally roll the rune word you've been looking for all along. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and were able to learn something about high rune farming and to be able to hopefully better your chances to be able to get them to drop for you. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video comes out. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and take care.